Hey everyone, Scott here, and I wanted to give a special thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far. We recently passed 2,000 subscribers on the channel. Honestly, when I first started on YouTube, I was happy to get like 10 views on a video. So I really appreciate everyone that's taken the time to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos with their friends. And since we have a new year here, I thought it'd be fun to go over some Amazon trends and predictions. I love to hear your predictions as well, so be sure to leave them in the comments down below. As an Amazon seller, I think it's always important to try to see where things are going to be able to evolve and stay ahead of the competition. So grab a drink if you'd like. I'm trying out some of this Bankroll coffee from Graham Stephan, the YouTuber. Some of you probably are familiar with him. There's a really good deal. I think it was like $4 for Black Friday to get an entire bag of coffee. So trying it out and it's pretty good. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so let's start with some trends I think will continue or get stronger in 2020. The first is the continuation of the supply chain issues, at least for another quarter or two. If you had to import anything from overseas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The price of containers, transportation has gone up, plus dealing with factories closing, dealing with inflation on materials. So if you're one of the lucky ones that hasn't had to deal with that, that's amazing. I know this has caused a lot of problems for Amazon sellers. I myself have even had some period of time this year that I've gone out of stock because of not being able to get raw materials in to make my products. So this will eventually get better. I think it'd even get better in 2022, but I think that for the first quarter or two, we'll still see some of the same issues that we have right now. Some things that have helped me in the meantime is really diving in to my logistics, fully understanding my current lead times in the current environment, and making sure I order enough inventory. Now, with Amazon's inventory limits in FBA, I can't send all my inventory to Amazon at once, so I use a 3PL, a third-party logistics warehouse, to store the excess inventory, and that makes it easier and faster to replenish my inventory as needed. The next trend is the rising Amazon PPC costs. If you've been advertising on Amazon, you probably noticed this, that the cost per click on average is getting higher, and I don't see that changing, unfortunately. One of the things contributing to this is the continual increase in the number of sellers and the number of products on Amazon. With more people using Amazon PPC, also more people are bidding and using higher bids to try to get to those prime top positions and those prime placements. So that overall is always going to increase the cost of PPC. Amazon has been introducing new placements and targeting options, and in 2022 we may see even more, but a lot of sellers don't take advantage of all that are available even right now. There's video ads, sponsored brands, sponsored display, category targeting, retargeting, even interest targeting now. So most just focus on targeting keywords, sponsored products, product targeting, and auto PPC, but there's a lot more available. So I think in 2022, to get the most out of Amazon PPC, it's a good idea to think with a full funnel strategy where you have ads at the top of the funnel that are meant to bring awareness and bring new people into your product or product listing. And then towards the bottom, you have the targeting of people who've already visited your product, or maybe people who've already bought your product. And to start looking at your total cost of advertising compared to your sales. That's often used with the acronym TACoS. You might have heard that before, but that's looking at your whole advertising altogether as one and not focusing as much on just the singular keyword or placement targeting ACoS of those individual keywords, but more looking at it as a holistic whole. Now, if you have products that are in extremely competitive categories like me, then you know that Amazon PPC can sometimes be almost too expensive to run, or at least too expensive to entirely rely on. I mean, if I want to get top placement in some of my categories, talking $3, $4+ just for an individual click. And that leads me into the next trend I see growing in 2022, which is an increase in external advertising to Amazon. Amazon is actively encouraging driving traffic to your product listings with the release of the brand referral program, which I did an entire video on if you're interested in kind of learning more about that, where you can get money back from sales that you make from advertising. And I've always been an advocate for driving external traffic to your Amazon listing, even way back in my earlier videos. I know it's kind of trendy right now, but I was talking about this a very long time ago. There's a lot of options these days, it's Google Ads, Facebook, YouTube, influencers, TikTok, to name a few. I don't recommend trying to do all of these at once, but I do recommend picking out maybe one or two platforms that could be good for your type of product, and then trying to learn and understand these for marketing. Better understanding marketing and how to do it will be an advantage for sellers going forward. Now let's get into some predictions for 2022. This doesn't mean that any of this will happen, but we'll see. The first is that video content will become more heavily featured by Amazon. Right now, you can have a video on your listing and you can run video ads, but I could see Amazon allowing brands to add videos to Amazon posts instead of just images, using a video for Amazon posts. And if you're not familiar with Amazon posts or haven't really had the time to check it out or start using it, I recommend paying more attention to it, because I think Amazon is going to be expanding the use and the prominence of the Amazon post. And then also I could see them making video available to everyone that has A+ content, making video an available section on A+ content. And that's just some examples, some ideas of what I could see. And really, even right now, a lot of sellers are not taking advantage of video. They don't have, even with brand registry, they don't have video on their listing, or they haven't even tried running video ads. So I recommend creating video content if you haven't already. It doesn't have to be something expensive. You don't need an entire video crew to go and film video. It doesn't have to cost you thousands of dollars. You can literally film it yourself and edit it up, or give it to a video editor to edit it up. Or there's plenty of software available out there that has video templates that make it easy to plug in pictures, plug in text, plug in video, and make a attractive video content. The next is that we'll see a stronger crackdown from Amazon on ranking strategies. Amazon has been combating fake reviews or review manipulation for some time now, but I see them putting a new focus on rank manipulation. Since my last video on Amazon coming out clearly against ranking strategies like search, find, buy, two-step URLs, and rebates, they've officially added this to their terms of service. And if you don't know what I'm talking about or aren't aware of this, I recommend checking out my previous video on kind of these changes to the terms of service. And in that video, I mentioned that at the time it's just a post that Amazon had made, and so we'll see if they actually add this to the seller code of content or the terms of service, whatever you want to call it. And they officially did now. So I think this is something that to keep an eye on. Now, I haven't heard of anyone actually getting in trouble for this yet, at least that I'm aware of, and they might be just giving sellers time to adjust. But what do you think? Do you think Amazon will actually follow through and enforce this? I know they're still, even today, having trouble with reviews, so it'd be interesting to see if they're even able to enforce this or enforce it in any meaningful way. But either way, we all know sellers will come up with, ways around this or new ranking techniques, so we'll see how it goes. The next prediction is that more brand building tools will become available from Amazon. Some examples of tools we've gotten already are an expansion of Amazon Post, which I recommend paying more attention to, like I mentioned, the ability to send promotional emails through Amazon to your brand followers, Amazon Live. Amazon has even released their own product research tool, which is called Product Opportunity Explorer. There's really good data and info that can be gotten from that. So I recommend checking that out if you haven't already. And I think if you don't have access to it yet, I think most people do, but if you don't, I believe you can contact support and try to ask for access for it. So having brand registry is becoming really a must these days. I recommend really thinking about your branding going into 2022 to stay competitive. And branding isn't just, fancy packaging. I think a lot of times people think of branding, they think, well, I got to get nice packaging. You don't even need nice packaging necessarily. It's your brand story. It's what you stand for. It's your images and listing copy and how they work together. It's about how you present yourself to your target market, whether it's on Amazon, marketing, social media, or even on your package inserts. One thing I did this year is go back through all my listings and improve my images and improve my A+ content. And it's made a big positive impact to my sales. So that's something that I really recommend paying attention to in 2022. And lastly, this is probably more, wishful thinking than anything else, but an expansion of brand protections. Since Amazon is actually trying to get bigger brands to sell on Amazon, I think they need to try harder to protect against fake products. These big brands don't want to have a bunch of fake products going out to their customers. I know they have some programs already, but I'd like to see Amazon allow brands to be able to approve other sellers on their listing if they want. Even now with brand registry, bad sellers are hijacking listings, and it's still very much an issue for people. But like I said, this one is probably more, wishful thinking than an actual prediction. So what do you think of what I covered? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your own predictions. To leave down in the comments down below. Love to read those. Be sure to like, subscribe. Depending on when you watch this, I hope you have an amazing New Year's or already had an amazing New Year's, and I'll see you in the next one.